Same questions. Is it the same questions? You get the same questions again and again and again?
Well, I'm an idiot, you know. I'm the dumbest guy that you've ever met in your whole life. Here's what you answered, so obviously you're a dummy. How do you respond to your being a dummy? Well, I'm not a dummy. I'm not.
Both of the mainstream candidates are more unpopular than any other mainstream candidates in modern history. So I guess the question is, why are you doing so badly?
Smoke weed every day.
I would argue just the opposite. This is phenomenal. We got 12 million bucks. We're at 10% plus in the polls.
But you're not at 10% in the polls. You were at 10% in the polls. You're near a 6.1% at the moment.
Oh, it's funny because it's true.
Well, this is real clear politics. That was one of my yelling points earlier, is that, you know what? I mean, pick your poll. Pick your poll. If you want to say I'm at 6.1%, yesterday I was in Virginia, 15%. New Mexico, I'm at 24%. I don't know where 6.1% comes from. I have no idea.
I'll tell you where it comes from. It comes from an average of all of the polls. So it takes all of the polls, it looks at the consensus.
Well, why are you here then at 6.1%? Why are you even interviewing me? I don't get it. If I'm doing so poorly, is this to preside over a funeral here? It's not a funeral, it's a celebration.
So how would you then explain how Evan McMullin is currently tied with Clinton and Trump in Utah?
Oh, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way.
He's ensuring that Hillary Clinton will win Utah. And then, you know what? He is what he is, and you know, I begrudge no one for entering the race.
That's the spoiler argument.
Of course!
Look, you asked me, I'm not labeling it spoiler, I'm just telling you what I think the reality is.
Tell me what you think about taxation, because I know that's one of the policies of yours which has garnered most attention. Could you just kind of summarize it for us in a nutshell?
Well, that there be certainty, and neither Bill Weld nor myself in our 2 terms each as governors raised taxes a penny. So there's a certainty. Taxes will not go up.
But that's not your tax policy, is it? I mean, your tax policy is to abolish income tax, abolish corporation tax, and abolish the IRS.
If I could wave a magic wand, I would eliminate income tax, corporate tax, and I would replace it with one federal consumption tax. I put the fair tax out there as a template for how to dot the I's and cross the T's to accomplish one federal consumption tax. I'm pretty versed on the consumption tax, on the fair tax, and how they actually accomplish things like that it is regressive, for example.
I mean, I've looked and searched for any credible economist who would think it's sensible to abolish income tax, abolish the IRS, abolish corporation tax and replace it with effectively one large sales tax, and think that makes sense.
Well, like I say, we have a difference of opinion.
I'm not saying that you and I disagree. I'm saying most of the world's major economies and most of the world's major economists disagree with you.
Look, I don't want to argue. I don't want to argue, really.
But it's not a question of arguing.
Look, I came out for the legalization of marijuana. Let me just use that as an example. And I will tell you that I had people in my face for years and years and years talking about how stupid and how idiotic it was that we should allow marijuana to be legal.
But what's that got to do with your tax policy?
What is Aleppo?